Welcome everyone to quick correction. No breaking news, no going over start, no collecting $4,000 or whatever. Not like other news outlets like SD, ZDNet, and others copied. Linux 6.2, first mainstream Linux kernel for Apple M1 chips arrives, and unfortunately I have to say no, that is complete and utter journalistic fail, if not aka hashtag fake news. What is wrong with this? Wrong with that is that no, the first mainstream Linux kernel for Apple M1 chips was not only here, 6.1 already supported all the Mac Mini, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, M1 here, iMac. I even went back here and quickly tested because I obviously that is so old. Mainstream Linux kernel supporting M1 silicon, 5.16 had already at least most of this. So Apple M1 here directly in this compressed tarball, it's like Apple M1 SoC here, Apple Silicon Arch Apple, and more of that. I just skipped a little bit too far already, so there is documentation. Here Apple Silicon, right, Arch Apple, here you have it. And so that is so old, and here are the device trees. So that was 5.16, and just here at the 6.1. So yeah, that is so old, I don't even bother to go back. What is new, and I shouted out in the previous video, is here support mostly for Pro and Max, M1 Max, M1 Pro, so Apple T6000, M1 Pro, M1 Max, and that is mostly device tree, a little bit, interrupt controller stuff, also in general, Broadcom Apple, Bluetooth for Apple Silicon, that is just HID, and also finally Apple ASOC CPU P-State, which gives you some frequency scaling and energy savings, but not even that much. So yeah, unfortunately, really bad journalism in my opinion. Ironically, they kinda get it right here later. That is here by adding upstream support for Apple M1 Pro, M1 Max, and M1 Ultra. Maybe they mixed that. Maybe they didn't really realize there is non-Pro, non-Max, non-Ultra. I have no idea. But yeah, the headline or some how are they called? Editor-in-chief or whatever, marketing person of clickbait fame decided to clobber the headline in inaccurate ways. Unfortunately, other copied that, right? So Apple Insider copied that. Linux 6.2 includes M1 Max support. It's like the Linux kernel did for quite a while. And upstream project, Linux project even more. But last but not least, even freaking Slashdot, right? That is a little bit, I point this out just basically, I have my problem with modern journalism. But this is not even, it's for decades obviously cost cutting and firing people, running newsrooms with I don't know, tens of the workforce and stuff, and everyone basically doing no fact checking, no new or very, very few own research and investigative journalism and stuff. It's like if you would have had fact check that a little bit, you would have known this, of course, a just link to as Slashdot does, by just copying the headline, the first mainstream Linux kernel for Apple M1 chips makes it already inaccurate. In the end, does it bother? Is it such a bad thing? You could argue, well, at least it's free marketing, and any free marketing for the year of the desktop Linux is a good thing. On the other hand, I would still say accurate reporting and journalism is more important than random bullshit. And so even with the free marketing of respinning what was the first mainstream Linux kernel support for M1 chips a year ago, I would still say I would prefer accurate journalism, right? And not like random copycatted clickbait of fake news. Because the problem is it's not a single thing, right? It's constantly you open something and stuff is inaccurate of people who didn't bother to check, who have no understanding of inner workings of tech and computers and silicon and software and hardware. And there's often so many details wrong and stuff, and even in world politics and other things, that I would say it is important. And also it could have been, you could still have had the clickbait if you just added there M1 Pro and Max. That already would have, I mean, sure, it is, or if Pro, Max and Ultra is too long, then Pro and faster or whatever. But I would still take accurate reporting and journalism over free marketing of Linux on Apple Silicon. Did I wanted to say something else? And also, basically, in the total grand scheme of things, it doesn't even matter at all, right? Because the year of the Linux desktop will not come any faster if we have now more clickbait, breaking news, the year of Linux desktop on Apple Silicon. That is anyway further away with GPU drivers and video encode, decode, and other AI accelerator and stuff, not to mention compatibility in ecosystems and whatnot. So yeah, it totally doesn't matter in the grand total scheme of things. I'm just disappointed. It is even another example. I mean, besides, you probably know it, but even nowadays, what really bothers me, even in big it's not state news like national public radio and TV in Germany. Even the big first program, even in Germany, I constantly find. I mean, I was not even as German. I wasn't even the best in German. I was like German, like in school, it's boring and stuff. Have some computer to write, so like I was never like the very, very good in German, like barely pass, because I have English to learn and code to write. But like in this day and age, I constantly find typos here, missing words, right? There is not one single day I open this page and I just need to scroll a little bit and I missing words, typos, or other inaccuracies. Just in another example. But anyway, of course we support this already. We have already the Asahi Linux tree in T2 Linux for even more support than is here, and working to bring Rust-enabled Apple GPU drivers, AGX drivers to you for playing along at home with T2 on Apple Silicon Linux. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. Leave in the comments below what's your take here on such inaccurate reporting and the state of desktop Linux or the such stuff. I hope you have a good day and learned something, and see you soon for all the next fun stuff to come.